Peace, love, and light, family. This is Mr. Eternal. So, I'm gonna go into I'm gonna jump into JCSU's portion when I met the white word sage. Right at this point in my schooling year, I believe this is like my ending of freshman year, going into sophomore year of college. Right now, at this point, I'm fully aware of my spiritual gifts, like to the T, where at nighttime I was walking back from Mosaic Village, and I realized that some of the main buildings on campus looked like they was placed there. Like, think Sims, but real life. Like, it was really, really placed there, and it looked really real. So I was like, oh, this is cool. And I came up with the concept, like, when you walk into the door, you're walking into the universe of that building. And then when you walk into another door, you're walking into the subatomic universe of that portion of the universe. And then when you walk to somebody's office, you're walking to their own subatomic universe within the universe of that building, right? So this is my mindset. And I tried to explain this to some of the students on campus, but that made them realize life was too real for their awareness. And it's like, oh, no, I couldn't do that. So often I was playing this game by myself. Then it got to a point where I was like, now that I have this concept that the world is really just a map and all the buildings and all these things are just universes and subatomic universes, I've always saw it as a growing board game. So every time I found a different location around the school, I'd be like, oh, this is just adding to my board game. Another place where I started to really like to go to at night times was cemeteries. The only reason why I like to go to cemeteries is because, one, it was very peaceful. Two, the dead did not bother me at all. And three, there was no cops there. It's just highly peaceful. So I started going there a lot. Cleansing out, I feel like it had a lot to do with just releasing the old parts of myself. The cemetery being where you lay to rest things that no longer is living. So those aspects was being put into the soil, being cleansed out. Also at this time, I was hanging around with two other students who were very familiar with their own spiritual gifts. And I mean, like, to the T. The female by the name of Michaela, she was so aware of her gift. We were sitting in a room. We were sitting at the desk. It was me sitting directly across from her and the guy who liked her. His name, I'm calling Mr. T. And she did some type of hand gesture where she was channeling her energy, and she just pointed towards our direction, and I just felt this wave of energy just like wash over my entire body. I was like, yo, what was that? And she was like, I had the intention to send or project my energy outwards. I was like, well, it worked. I felt that. That was absolutely amazing. Then we had another experience where we had two experiences that was very shifting for my whole spiritual journey before white word sage came into my life, and before like the whole Reiki thing and all that stuff really, really amped up, right? So at this point, we the second experience was there was a park across the street, and we was hanging there at nighttime. Again, all the things that went down always happen at nighttime past the midnight hour, right? So we're chilling in this park, and we're looking at this tree, and I see a face on the bark of the tree. I kid y'all not. The face was clear as day, and I was like, y'all, look at the face on the tree. And when I pointed it to them and I showed them what I was seeing, they was like, oh, snap, we see it too. I look over to the left, and there's like these houses, right? And there's this shed on the background. And the shadows on the shed look like three gentlemen with top hats. I kid y'all not. One was a tall, skinny fella. Another one was like a medium-sized build. And the last one was like short and fat. But top hats, clear as day, right? The moon, it's like one of those anime moons, so it wasn't full, it was like kind of half-ish, and then like the clouds was just beneath it. Real dope, right? So we're walking back because it's getting late or whatever, right? We walk into this sub neighborhood. Mind you, it's quiet. You don't hear nothing. We walk into the sub neighborhood, right? And we go through these three barricades, little yellow poles in the ground. We walk in there, and all the houses are the same, right? They look exactly the same. So I'm explaining to them, like, yo, these are subatomic universes. Each one of these houses, even though they're built the same, but when we go in, they're all going to have different type of energies, components within them that's going to make them different. We get probably halfway up the street, and we hear gunshots. And then we hear sirens. It was like immediately one after another. Then it was sirens. No, correction. It was the gunshots. Then it was the screaming. And then it was the sirens, right? So we was like, about face, turn around, walk away, right? And as soon as we stepped back over the 3 barricades, the yellow poles, it went silent again. It's like we walked through a portal, and then we came back from that portal, and it was completely silent, right? Homie's freaking out. Bro, man is freaking out. He's like, losing his shits, right? So once we cross back over, it comes silence. Once we hit the main road, the sirens come back on again, like just, it's like this whining tune, right? As soon as we stepped foot on campus, everything went silent. We didn't hear nothing. No ambulance, no police, no woman, no nothing. Silence. Crazy stuff. The next occurrence that happened that was pretty cool and pretty cool was we was in it was me, him, and the female. We were upstairs in one of our mutual friends' rooms at the time. It was pretty well lit but slightly dark. And we was listening to the song. I had this song at the time. I think it's called Glory Box. I forget the group, but I think it's called the Glory Box. And it's like this whining tune in the beginning. And I'm sitting down, I've been listening to it or whatever. And at the time, I had a particular spiritual guide that came through me and was speaking through me into this space. And the gentleman was sitting right across from me, and he was like locked in. And then as soon as the lyrics to the song kicked in, that's when the channel and message stopped, and it flowed right into the song. So he starts freaking out, like going crazy. He's like, yo, that is crazy. He starts shaking and stuff. He's like, yo, bro, you don't understand. I heard your voice and I heard another voice talking at the same time as you. I'm just chilled. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool. He's like, nah, bro, that's different. I've never experienced that, right? So I'm like, yo, that's pretty cool. From there was a field adjacent to New Res. That's where I was staying. So this is my sophomore year. Adjacent to New Res, it's like the practice football field. There was this massive tree near it. It was behind Greenfield. I believe that's the split dormitory between guy and males, right? And when I used to go out there, I used to be so engulfed with my own energy, my imagination at the time. I knew trees were talking to me. Like, I knew it because I could see their faces in the leaves and all that great jazz there. So I saw a neighboring female spirit in the tree. And she reached out to me. She was like, hey, thank you for coming to the campus. Thank you for seeing me. I haven't been seen by anybody in a very, very, very long time. I really appreciate you. My father appreciates you, which I've known him to be as like the green man or something like that, which later down the road, the white word sage agreed and he confirmed that is so. So I'm doing energy work. I'm experiencing these different things. I'm like, yo, this is cool. My spiritual development is just like enhancing. There was a social studies teacher. I don't know if I can say his name, but if you know Dr. Aratis from campus, y'all, from Johnson C. Kiss, he was OG. He was a legit way beyond. He's like a spiritual teacher outside of just being a teacher. So he gave us like different techniques that we could try to help enhance our abilities, enhance our being able to recall during dream states, being able to walk and things of that caliber. Then I meet a guy named Langston Hughes, and he introduces me to the White Word Sage. Now, the White Word Sage, he's a magician in his own rights. He does nothing but practice. He does all the spiritual stuff. Like, he's one of those people where he deep dives into spirituality. Like, it is his entire existence type of energy. So when we became aware of each other, our energies kind of aligned, and then we started doing amazing stuff, like things I couldn't even at the time really recollect. Like, is this real? But deep down inside, I knew it was real. But it was absolutely amazing. So in the next video, I will go into more explanation of the practices that he taught me and where I shared with him and how we did spiritual combat and how that helped elevate my own spiritual awareness and how we just help each other grow. He used to say he's Vegeta and I'm Goku and all that great jazz. Real dope stuff. More to come. I love y'all. Peace.